Boys, we are so back. Welcome to Small Talk. It is episode 17. This is season 3, episodes 1, 2, and 3. I'm one-third of your co-host. My name is Ryan Cam. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been a while, but we are back, jumping into season 3 with both feet. And man, we got 3 stellar episodes to start off and bring us back. But first, I had to introduce, from 3D Movie Cinema, it's Jacob Collins, who is mouthing me or mocking me for some reason.
Yeah. No, it was just like literally copying everywhere he said. I was like, just like, but yeah, I just want to say that I'm excited. These are 3 episodes. I was just telling off camera, like this is 3 episodes I'm actually really excited about. Like I like all 3 of these episodes, and they're vastly different from each one. And I'm just excited to talk about it because I was just like watching it, taking notes, going, "Oh my god, these are so good!" Because like I didn't want to like usually when I do watch the episode, I'll watch it and take notes, but then I'll get to the good stuff in the episode, and then but I just want to sit there and watch the whole episode, just going like, man, I was just forgetting to take notes, just like, cause oh my god, I got to take notes.
Well, the third episode we're talking about tonight is a bit of a dip in quality, but not by much. But episodes 1 and 2, they're a two-parter. That is like top shelf stuff. This is some of the best stuff that I've seen in this show so far, but we'll cross that bridge in a minute. But I got to introduce Matt Wyatt. Matt, how you doing?
Dude, I'm so happy to be back on after a 3-week break. God, it feels like a lifetime. Jesus. And yeah, I can't wait to get into the first 3 episodes. They were great. The first 2 episodes is a 2-parter. They're like essentially all in one episode, split into 2. And the 3rd episode, as much as I enjoyed it, I felt like it was a little bit of a deep dive and a little dip dive and a little bit of a quality, but it's still good.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone for checking out the best of videos that I put together for over our hiatus. I hope you all enjoyed them. I had a fun time editing them, just seeing like clean shaven me. Like it was a little weird, but it was fun to go back and just
one question, not to cut you off or anything. Are you doing that no shave November? That's why you're talking about how much you had a clean shave and you're trying to grow up the mustache or something?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but
I'm trying to seem cooler by having a beard. The beard's cooler, man.
But I've never had one before. I'm just experimenting, seeing if I can actually make it work or if it just looks like it just doesn't.
He's vicarious with the beard, okay? He's not fully committed to the beard.
Been there, done that.
All right, yeah, let's go with that. But let's
wait. We're just gonna talk about. We're not gonna go back and just what Matt said. We're not gonna go back to him saying "been there, done that." When I mentioned,
no, I mean, I experimented growing a beard for the first time. That's what I was.
I thought you were saying I experimented before, so that's like saying really.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I experiment. Yeah, I've experimented it before.
Let's talk about that for a second. Like we're not just gonna skip past that shit. We're gonna go back to that. It's like, yeah, Matt, let's talk about it.
Well, on that note, let's jump in. This is season 3, episode 1, called Exile.
Season premiere event. He left behind the ones he loves.
Smallville is not a part of my past.
No matter where he hides.
Johnny, you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved.
No matter what he becomes.
I found Clark.
Do you always betray the people you love?
He can never deny his destiny.
I love you.
Get out!
Smallville, season premiere October 1st on the WB Wednesday.
Clark Kent, under the influence of red kryptonite, has become a criminal, heisting banks, going to nightclubs, and living under the alias Cal. But he comes into conflict with not only his Kryptonian-marked chest, but a ruthless and greedy gangster named Morgan Edge. That is the most early 2000s name. You have no idea.
He's a comic character from the comic.
Percentage of the stolen loot, and also begins to suspect Clark's alien origins. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor is declared dead, but he is living with the weird Louis Leary Jr. in an isolated desert island. Back in Smallville, Dr. Helen Bryce comes to his funeral and meets Lionel Luthor in the mansion where secrets are disclosed. Lana Lang and Jonathan Kent try to bring Clark back to Smallville. Unsuccessful after Lana's pleas to Clark, Jonathan makes contact in the cave with the spirit of Jor-El, who imbues Jonathan with Kryptonian superpowers to combat Clark and bring him home in exchange for a price. Also, Chloe enjoys her new job at the Daily Planet while tailing Lana during her search for Clark. So yeah, Clark's a big old baddie at the start of this episode, and it's honestly kind of fun to see. Like, he just buys this car and is like, "Oh, it's 250K. Here you go." So it's fun to see. And I was expecting, oh, we're gonna get to Metropolis and he's like gonna be Superman, right? But no, that's not what happens. But it
The
just
opposite is completely the opposite.
I was like, wait. You said he's gonna become Superman? Then
No, it's the
show's
opposite.
over, pal.
More
Yeah,
like
I don't
asshole
know.
man or something.
I don't know what I was thinking with that, but I loved this episode. It was such an emotional roller coaster. There's so much to love about it. Jacob, what do you think?
I mean, this happened. The first off, the second it starts, I'm just like, he just like wants a car, punches an ATM, grabs the money, and then he's like that. There's a hottie there, and he's like, yeah, and he just literally goes there and everything, and then like I'm like, yeah, Clark, he gets this hottie, he's like, here's some money, and then he takes her out and everything to a club and just ignores her and was just like, and then I like that. I thought, I was like, that is such a dickish thing to do. And on top of that, also I was kind of wondering when I was watching he doesn't have a driver's license, so how the hell does he fill out the information to get the car?
Maybe he's
They
like
probably
Jason Bourne and he's got like dummy passports and dummy licenses in like a bank vault somewhere.
he's probably telling her like skip up the paperwork. Just skip it. No, I got a bag of cash, pal.
Like the car is registered, and then he just gives the car away too, which I'm like,
Yeah, just gives the whole Lamborghini to the chauffeur to what was his name? The valet. Exactly.
enjoy the police, asshole.
Enjoy your time in jail, dick.
I was like, you wanted the car. But I just imagine him driving home like, yeah, I'm so hot, I got all the chicks in the world. Woo! Get out of the car now!
You buy a Lamborghini that it costs $250K and you just gave it away to the fucking valid.
Imagine
parking,
explaining that to the police. Like, officer,
my
this guy gave it to me, a guy named Cal. Like, who's gonna believe you?
You think he would not give up his name already, and he would have identified him of who the guy was that gave him that Lamborghini?
Just
Like, yeah,
I-
sure, buddy. To jail. To jail.
Yeah,
You
yeah, a good-looking guy. Yeah, looked like Superman. Just gave you the car keys, and it's like, I swear, that's what happened. They're in a club,
yes.
and no one IDs him at all either. Like, there's a
Another bag of cash.
club.
Another bag of cash. The guy knows me. The bouncer knows me.
Like this guy, this guy, which obviously, yes, in real life, Tom Welling looks like he could go into a club and no one would ID him. But Lana, that I'm like, oh, come on.
Also, unrelated note, the club is called Atlantis. I don't know if you all caught that.
Oh no, I did not caught that.
I was thinking to
shit.
myself, Aquaman owns this club. I just like,
Apparently, Arthur Curry owns the club.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Apparently,
I mean, as long as it's near water, I mean, if he needs to do Aquaman stuff, it's convenient.
or maybe the people of Atlantis bought the club.
Oh, that's a good point too. But then we get this bank robbery scene, which these robbers wear insane clown posse masks, like they look like juggalos.
They look like a same cloud from fucking Twisted Metal.
That's another good clown reference, yes. But they're all controlled by Morgan Edge, who is played by Rutger Hauer, rest in peace, the main villain from Blade Runner. When I saw him, I was like, whoa, hello, Rutger Hauer. It's nice to see you. I hope you're not just limited to this, and it looks like he's going to stay a while. Thank God.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it?
Because
And
Like-
also he made an appearance in Batman Begins. He played one of the CEO of Wayne Industries. Then he was also in Sin City that played the priest.
he got fired at the end of Batman Begins.
Didn't you get the memo?
And one of the more satisfying moments in that movie.
Didn't you get the memo?
Yeah, I like Rutger Hauer as an actor. Look, to me, like the opening seems so good with which I was just watching going, man, they don't do bank robberies like this at all in real life. In real life, it's just a guy with a baseball cap and like a note that says, I have a gun. And like, it's never like as good as the movies. The movies are like, get on the ground. Yeah.
That was
Hard rock music.
it was essentially like Dark Knight
Your
before
money.
Dark Knight even came to be with this cold opening heist mission.
Yeah, I was going to say Christopher Nolan must have watched this scene, which means he must have seen Smallville. Like that, it can't be a coincidence.
He's taking notes. Come on, you think filmmakers of WB who makes DC movies have not watched Smallville and taken a lot of notes from that show?
How did all right, so first off, Clark just steals a motorcycle and drives just to drive it through the bank? Like, I can believe he breaks the glass, but that motorcycle is no way breaking a bank glass. I don't believe for a second.
But to be fair, he has powers that can break through glass. Like, let's be fair. So we can get that a pass. But if it was an ordinary guy, then it wouldn't be as believable.
He could have literally just been. I thought it would have been cooler if he would have just, like, when they're robbing the place, he would have just been right behind the guy. Like,
yeah, why? But also, why couldn't he just super speed into the bank? Why did he need a crotch rocket to crash? Yeah, but why would he need that? He has powers.
He's gotta be theatrical. That's why.
And he's wearing a fucking ski mask as a disguise without anyone seeing his face. But the bank heist was pretty dope. I like how it was done practical when he was getting shot by a bunch of bullets, and it was not CGI, except for the bullet time sequences when he did all Matrix on them.
Which, why didn't I was like, well, also the guards never arrest, like, Morgan Edge's men. Like, they're little, he throws them, messes them up and everything, and then, like, they even take off their mask where the camera can see their face.
Yeah,
but another one that I will, not to jump in, but the reason why that they don't, because they get bailed out of jail because Morgan Edge is a crime boss in Metropolis that bailed them out because he has a lot of money and power. So yeah, that one would have been a little bit more believable.
Gene Wilder, his henchman, looks like Gene freaking Wilder.
He did. I know.
The one with the tattoo on his face looks like Gene Wilder. I told Ryan, he looks like Gene Wilder.
He looks like Gene Wilder's brother.
I thought he kind of looked like an off-brand John Glover, but the Gene Wilder reference looks even better. So
especially, I'm like, is Gene Wilder? I had to Google it for a second. Like, is Gene Wilder in Smallville? Like, he'd be like 70. There's no way. And so, like, in 2003, Gene Wilder was 70 years old. I'm like, no, he's not.
That would have been.
But that was so funny when Clark just made a snarky response to the bank robbers, like, stick to balloon animals.
Stick to balloon animals.
that was very good.
Also, he called him Bozo too. He's like, Bozo.
They played an intense rock music that actually fit the tone in that scene. Holy shit! And especially when he just getting, like, shot by the cops without even, like, attacking them, and he just uses his heat vision and went all Terminator on them by just disable the vehicle as a distraction so he can super speed away.
Me and Ryan were laughing because the shot of Metropolis at the beginning of before, like, when you see the bank. It looks like just a picture. They just shot a picture because, like, there's not even nothing moving in the bottom. It's just a giant shot of a city. Looks like something you would see, like, in, like, those movies where you see, like, they'll have a shot of an island and then you'll see somebody in an airport walk by the island. Like, But there was no way they were going to get that shot that quickly when they were in the middle of a fucking war zone.
Yeah.
Just show the picture of Metropolis.
Get Jimmy Olsen the photo.
Is he in this show? Just say yes or no.
Do you want us to say it?
Don't tell him. Do not tell him. Let him find out.
I don't know.
You know what? Don't tell me. I want to be surprised.
I can neither confirm nor deny details of any such operation without the Secretary's approval.
But while Clark is embracing his dark side, Lex is pulling a Count of Monte Cristo. He's on a desert island in the middle of nowhere with this random Lewis dude. Like I don't know who the dude is, but considering, and this is going to be jumping a little into episode 2, like, we don't really see how he gets back. So I want to see how he gets back.
And to jump right in, that must have been the guy who found him at the end of episode 1 was one of the fishermen on the boat that saw the flame. And that's where he was able to find Lex in the middle when he was hallucinating, when he thought he killed Lewis, but he was pretty much hallucinating the whole time. So yeah, they were able to get him back into the U.S. in a fishing boat.
Yeah, but I really did love that scene, like Lex just, like, fighting with, essentially, in a weird way, what he's going to become, because he very much, like when he deals with this, he goes in one way, and then when we see in episode 2, and we'll cross that bridge in a minute, he basically gets a little bit more of a grittier edge to it.
Oh yeah, because it was literally just exploring, like tackling his darker self. I mean, if you really think about it, when you see the necklace when he was going to the pond, and you see a dead, like, corpse of a skull, and you see the necklace that has 2 L's, that it had a little bit of parallel to Lex's life. Especially when Lewis says, "Oh, his father was always judging him. He kept chipping it away, and I had to kill him. Only one person could survive." that was pretty much a foreshadowing that was definitely Lex, and that was not really Lewis, and that's just like his imaginary friend.
Yeah.
In the business, we call that foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. Yep, that clip's
Insert
going.
clip here.
But yeah, like I said, very heavy parallels to Count of Monte Cristo. I hope like I'm not crazy in assuming that.
You know what I really also liked? I thought the scene with Lionel and Chloe in the caves, I thought that just was perfect.
Yeah.
You know, like that was just like
Chloe didn't annoy me this episode. I consider that a win.
I also liked when Clark was an asshole to her.
That's true.
I was like, yeah, Clark, tell her off. Tell her. I was like, tell her. Because I'm just like, I'm so sick. At least this is the whole only probably episode that I've seen so far where Clark is not like, well, she's like, I really wanted to be with you, but since you're with Lana, like, I just can't. I'm just like, there's like literally there could be like somebody kidnapped his mother, and then she's like, well, I really wanted to be with you, but you're trying to so obsessed with Lana, and right now you're obsessed with your mother.
Shut your bitch ass up!
There is a time and a place. This ain't the time.
Yeah, they literally matured Chloe up this time around. I think that the actress Allison Mack just complained to the writers saying, "Stop making Chloe a whiny little bitch.
Give me something, people. Come on."
And they did. They really, and as you continue on without giving away too much about Chloe's art, they really improve.
Which it makes no fucking sense how Chloe found Clark. Makes no sense.
But didn't she mention? But didn't she mention that she had a friend from the Daily Planet that she's interning or something that went to the nightclub, and she ran into Clark at a nightclub.
I know where he is. What? I found him 2 months ago. Some friends of mine from the planet stuck me into this club, and there he was.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a throwaway line of dialogue.
Oh well, there is. Yeah,
like
my bad.
Chloe found Clark, and then like Clark swore to secrecy. So it was I at least I was
she definitely swore to secrecy to not give away, not tell anyone where Clark is.
Also, what'd you think about the Jonathan and Martha scene?
Oh my god, I love that scene so much. When Jonathan was telling me that even when Clark is not around, we will have happy lives, and that was a moment where Clark like thought that they've given up on Clark, that they were giving up on the search for him.
You know, in a lesser show, like Jonathan and Martha would have just like been like so angry and mad at him, but they want him back, and it's low key some of the best parts of this whole show. Of this whole episode. We'll get to the Jor-El stuff in just a minute, but just I felt like is a weird allegory. It felt like they were kind of treating Clark like he was on drugs or something, and they were like trying to maybe do a bit of
Clark needed that speed. Like he's like, I need to hit again, because it feels like Clark knows what he's doing is wrong, but he's like,
yeah, and you see him burning in the chest of his Kryptonian symbol. That's literally Jor-El telling him, take that fucking thing off of you. You're losing yourself. I do not want you to go down that path. Even if he doesn't say anything, you kind of get the idea why his chest was so burning, like so much amount of pain. And then every time he takes it off, the pain stops. That's literally Jor-El telling him, you need to take that thing off of you.
I also liked, I thought that was a really good scene, especially how, like, you know, the whole thing is like, it's almost like that marking is like almost like a bird to him. Like, this is where you come from. And until you learn your lesson, this is going to stay on you. Like, especially how he doesn't want to, he's just like, I just want to party with women. I just want people to shoot me. Like, you know, I just want people to shoot at. No, he literally is just like having the time of his life. Like, brings Lana into the club. I thought that club scene was, by the way, perfect. How Lana's like calls and then Clark's right behind her. And he says, who is this? And then it's like, which I'm thinking, you would freaking know who that is, okay? Because who else is Lana going to call? It's either Chloe or your parent. She's not going to call Lionel Luther.
I mean, she's not going to call Domino's Pizza. Like, come on, dude. I don't know if you guys already brought that up earlier, but the scene with him and Chloe when he was already in pain and he's trying to storm her out of his apartment. That scene itself, Allison Mack told him to be a little bit more aggressive in that scene, like go crazy, like be aggressive. And holy shit, he was on fire with that performance.
Chloe, get out! If you tell anyone where I am, I will go so far away from Metropolis that no one will ever find me.
Yeah, I'm no real fan of Chloe's writing, or like the characters had her fair share of grown-worthy moments, but when he like shoves her out of the apartment almost, I was like, Yeah, that was kind of screwed up. That like the red kryptonite ring is literally like drugs, like
Yeah.
heroin or cocaine, like to this kid.
It's literally about him taking the pain away and taking the fate of the whole world, lifted off his shoulders.
He wants to numb the pain. That's all he wants to do. It's
Exactly.
like alcoholism. And so also the Lex's funeral was kind of great how Lionel was there at his funeral and everything. Then all of a sudden his wife shows up and then Lionel just leaves the funeral.
He pulls a fuck this shit, I'm out, no thanks.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Oh yeah, we forgot about the Helen Bryce. Like she's going shopping. She's making it cozy in the mansion. What the hell is going on right now with Helen Bryce?
I did like when Lionel confronted her though.
Yeah, he confronted her in making those accusations that she murdered Lex.
Lionel
she made up this whole fantasy story that he gave up the parachute to her so that she can live, and we already know that was a bullshit story that she's cooking up.
You know,
Lionel saw through that bullshit the second she started talking.
Yeah, at the start of the episode, I was thinking to myself, Lionel must have had something to do with this. But the more the episode went on, I was just like, yep, Dr. Bryce is a gold digger, all right.
Oh, and especially on the island, when we see Lex on the island, he still is desperately trying to get back and knowing what the fuck happened. Because when we saw him waking up when he was drugged, he's like, Helen Bryce is gone and the pilot's gone. Like, what the fuck's going on?
But it doesn't make sense about Helen because it feels like remember she was loyal to Clark and Jonathan, saying I found Clark's blood and all that stuff. But instead, it just feels like it feels like they had nothing to do with her, and they're like, we need to get her and Lex divorced. How do we do it? We don't really want Lex to kill her, but at the same time, we don't want.
So they're trying to like figure out how to write her out of the show because I don't think like the writers. I don't know if she was how long she was under contract for these episodes because she was never a regular in season 2.
Yeah, I think they were just trying because they said obviously they can't have Helen past season 2.
I was kind of taken out of it with Helen Bryce of how they've used her and made her the mastermind and how to try to orchestrate his death.
Why wouldn't she expose Clark to like Lionel? Like, say,
yeah, why would she get? Yeah, but also she gave the Clark's blood away to Lionel. How did that make any sense? Like, what is she doing?
Because it's like it makes no sense. It just feels like what the writers it feels like what the writers were doing in that season versus the writers what they're doing this season. It's like we don't really know what to do with her. Just try to make her a big baddie, and we'll figure something out. We'll figure out something.
Which made no sense. It didn't have any explanations. It was unclear to what her motives are. So let's saying, hey, she's a gold digger. She wants to she went all fucking like soap opera Fatal Attraction on him or something.
And we never see her again. That's the biggest fuck you all because we never see her again.
They just said Lex just say, hey, Helen Bryce is nowhere to be found. Even if she did survive, she would not want to be found.
Michael Rosenbaum interviewed her and she says, I don't even know why I didn't return. Like she said, she said, I guess because I wasn't under contract. They just decided to let me go. Like, that's the best thing.
Yeah, the writers probably did not want to extend her contract to make more appearances or even make her a regular. And because, like we mentioned, they didn't know what the hell to do with her anymore.
Which it would make sense. I will say, for her not to show up anymore, it makes sense.
And only to never mention her ever again after
it just seems
episode
like
2.
Lex was like, because Lex is like the second time he got married.
Yeah, second time.
And the second time he's got stabbed in the back too.
Apparently he's bad taste in women.
It's like obviously Lex, you're a bald guy, so no women.
I mean, we started to really love Helen Bryce in season 2, but then they kind of did a bit of a character assassination.
Yeah, it was odd. It was really, really odd. I was liking Dr. Bryce too, but it was like you said, it felt rushed. It felt really rushed.
It just feels like they try to do something like they're like, look, I feel like, and this is just, I feel like maybe like, and this is just my opinion, because this is never canon or nothing like that. I've not read anything. I feel like she was working for Dr. Christopher Reeves, Dr. Swan.
Dr. Virgil
that's why she
Swan.
didn't expose Clark. I think she was there to get rid of Lex because maybe she thinks Lex is going to be his greatest enemy, the Traveler, and so she goes, we need to keep Clark.
Or maybe the moment that he confessed that he broke in and took the blood from her, and that he was getting too close to figure out Clark, and he had to get rid of the collateral damage.
Yeah, like I thought that's what I always think. I think maybe Dr. Swan put her in place
to take him out of the equation.
And then she said he has to because it's Clark's journey. We cannot
I
neglect.
just wish they would have explained it a little bit more.
That would have made
way,
more sense, though, wouldn't it?
That way it would have make more sense instead of just say, "Oh, yep, she's gone."
Because at least they would have made her character
actually-
a nice person. Instead, we think she's just a gold digger that was like, I'm gonna never expose Clark because never reasons why.
No, but
I mean,
Jacob,
just-
you're really onto something. If they actually did that, like in the words of Carl Weathers, brother, you got a stew going with that. But let's dive into the ending where Jonathan basically makes a deal with the devil, or at least Jor-El, and Jonathan gets powers. And it took me aback. Like when the powers first see him, I'm like, what? And then come to find out he's got super speed. They crash through the window and just a big old "to be continued." Insert
the cliffhanger.
Insert the meme of the guy punching the computer, because that's the reaction that I had. And I was watching it on the DVD, so it was an easy, like, just skip to the next one. But I cannot imagine watching this as it happened to be like, you have to wait a week.
Also,
I can imagine.
Also, this is a nitpick for that club scene. I just realized on my last note. It says that cell phone that Lana's on, if you listen, it's perfectly clear on the Kensen. She's in a club full of loud people. That has great reception in 2003 because it has no club background whatsoever. Like they're on the phone with her and there's nobody on that end. It's just like Lana's voice. And I'm like, you would hear like, boom, 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 boom,
You would hear a
boom.
loud fucking music in the background.
Chloe,
There's
what?
no way in
What?
hell you would have. There's no like noise canceling fucking microphone or
It
something.
was in a club, loud music going, and there's nobody. No, everybody was around. There's music going, and yet when they answer that phone, that thing is silent. It's like Lila, shh, I'm on the phone, guys. Like Pee Wee Herman.
You couldn't at least go to the bathroom without any loud noises when you're making a
just
phone
made
call.
no sense.
Maybe it was like that one episode of Drake and Josh where they have that big MTV party in their house, and Drake and Josh's parents are calling you like, just be quiet for like 2 minutes, and then you can make all the noise you want.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, also, did they ever explain why Morgan Edge wanted Clark's blood?
Oh, I don't know if I remember.
Because
Why
it
did
feels
he
like
need it for?
really, it feels like
I don't think he really needed the blood specifically. I don't think he really knew what was in it. He knew that he had something very special that would sell a lot of money or something.
There's a big issue there because apparently Helen Bryce paid Morgan Edge to steal the blood, so then she could give it back to Lionel by selling it to. I mean, that's what I.
Lionel was blackmailing him to give the blood sample back. He blackmailed him.
But I'm just like, it made no sense. Like the Morgan Edge thing never made any sense.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I just thought that was kind of. Ugh.
But I do love the scene in the cave when Jonathan has to take the key to the cave wall, then try to confront Jor-El to bring him home, and telling him like, dude, he wasn't ready. You had to push him further. What the hell are you doing? He's too young to begin the journey. But we see that Jor-El is telling him that this was his test to see if he was ready, but he knows he wasn't ready. So that's why he will let him be with his parents for now and make a deal.
Yeah, but something tells me that this is not going to end well for Jonathan. I will just leave it at that. But let's go to ratings. Jacob, what do you got? 1 to 10 shields.
This is, I would say, a perfect 8 out of 10.
All right. Matt, what do you got?
I'm giving it a 9. I love it.
Well, I'll be the optimistic one. I'll go 10. I love this episode to pieces. Like, this was literally, like, my stomach was in knots a couple times. There's just so much to love here. I mean, we can nitpick it, sure, but just the emotion just was, like hitting me and just barraging me. I got no complaints. But
how great it was that they did a 3-month time jump. They didn't just simply like, hey, let's pick up where we left off when we left off from the season finale. There was no cliffhanger. It was a definitive end. And then they just moved on to doing a time jump that it feels like a new chapter.
That was a very smart move. But let's dive into part 2 of the season premiere, season 3, episode 2, called Phoenix.
When they come
quite adept at cheating death.
The only thing that keeps hurting me is you.
It's never worked. If I raise a son who could kill, then kill! Yeah! The one who had my name carved into a tombstone. All new Smallville next week on the WB Wednesday.
Lex returns to Smallville in the Lex Mansion, invites Dr. Helen Bryce for a second honeymoon while trying to figure out if it was her or his father who attempted to kill him. Meanwhile, Clark returns to Smallville and the Kent farm, but Morgan Edge finds him and threatens to kill Jonathan and Martha to get what Clark stole from Lionel Luthor's safe, which is the stolen vial of Clark's blood. With the financial situation of the Kent family in dire straits, the farm is sold in an auction, but there is a surprise in the end. Also, Lana tries to declare her love for Clark, but he rejects her love out of fear that she may discover his secret. Clark also returns to Smallville High and to the Torch newspaper under Chloe, who continues to investigate Clark's origins. So, yeah, this was another just banger of an episode. This was just fantastic. But anyway, Jacob, what did you think of the episode?
I like this one. This actually I prefer more than the first one because I really like the whole Morgan Edge aspect of it. But I like how it starts out with Jonathan versus Clark. He's like, son, you're coming home with me. And then like how Clark just makes that sacrifice when he's like, he could kill his father right now if he wanted to. And he's like, and he smashes the ring. And I'm just like, that right there was so cool. I really love that aspect of it. I thought this was really...
Bro, that was my favorite part of the episode, where we just go straight into the fight with Jonathan and Clark. Oh my God, that was an epic practical fight that felt like a Terminator style.
Yeah, and they beat the crap out of each other too. Like they go through walls and stuff and things.
Bunch of concrete.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
And the coolest part was when Clark just rips his fucking shirt off. Like, come on, the writers want him to show off his ripped fucking chest. But it got a little bit dark, and he just tells him that he makes sure that I would never forget who my real father is. Oh my God, how fucking dark that scene was. Damn. But he made the moral choice because no matter how bad he is on Red Kryptonite, he's not a killer. He still follows the moral code of not killing, and he made a choice to destroy that ring.
I mean, yeah, because he could have fucked his father up.
Oh yeah, he could have ended him right there.
He could have homelandered his father.
Yeah.
I will say also, I did like, there's a lot of father-son dynamics because Lex literally in the next thing confronts Lionel with a gun and pointing it at his head, and he's just like, he's ready to kill Lionel.
Because he's ready, because he wants to get some answers, and he believes that he might have been responsible for causing that plane to sabotage.
It's like Lionel. It's like, because he knows there's two people in his life right now that could kill. There are only two people that want me dead.
And also, Lionel was like, "What do I gain? What would benefit me to killing my own flesh and blood? Why would I do that?"
Power. I've watched enough WWE and the McMahon family and their whole bullshit to know that like family members will stab each other in the back for just anything. Like,
do you know how much the stock would rise if Lex Luthor died and Lionel Luthor became sole CEO? I mean, I could see like there is money to be made in your death, Lex. I mean, but
also Lionel still cares about him. He would not let anything. He was his only heir and not let anything happen to his own son, no matter how much they hate each other. No, exactly, he has no heir. He cares about that more than just money and power.
Yeah, which also I do like at the end how Haley tells Helen, once he figures it all out, he goes, if my father wanted to kill me, he would make sure I'm dead.
He would never fail. Yeah, and he's right.
Like I'm like, you sound like that is true. Like that,
I was like, since he brought it up, yeah, he's not wrong. He would never fail.
Lionel would not fail. If Lionel wanted to kill you, you are going to die. Like Lionel's not gonna fail at that.
It is not an if, it is a when.
But also, it's kind of weird that a fucking doctor can pull off this try to pull up a murder. I'm sorry, that was a little bit too far-fetched.
I mean, if you follow the Virgil Swan theory, it makes a lot of sense. But if you follow like a gold digger standard, that makes no sense whatsoever. But like a committed gold digger. This is the committed gold digger.
But anyway, Morgan Edge finds out who Clark really is and shows up on the farm in a really tense scene. First, it's like a two-parter. First, you get like he shows up in the limo and Clark is just like, "Oh, that's a nice door. It would be a shame if someone ripped it off."
He threatens him too, and I was like, "Oh wow, Clark doesn't even have the ring on." He's like,
he wanted to show him. He wanted to show the Red Kryptonite style and be aggressive to Morgan Edge and show him that he's not messing around. Get the hell out of town.
Which his guard just pulls a gun out on him, and he's like, "If you shoot him, nothing's gonna happen."
He's like, "Why are you pulling? Like, why the hell are you pulling the gun on Clark? You know it's not gonna hurt him.
He's like,
he's bulletproof."
He's like, "But the people you love might not be." I actually thought that was clever. He's like, "You might not be, you might be bulletproof."
And seriously, did no one see him coming from the fucking farm? No one.
I mean, Clark. I love Clark, but I'm like, Clark, man. You really think this dude is not gonna come back? I mean, this is a gangster. You really think you're gonna? Are you that stupid, Clark? You're not gonna think. You tell him to leave town, he's gonna leave town. No, he's gonna come back. Okay, and I'm just like saying, Clark, you need to pick his car up and then throw his car across the freaking world into like Antarctica. Then you have a chance that he's never gonna come back.
Yeah, it's common sense. Like, don't you watch a lot of gangster movies? You do not see any of the pattern.
Yeah. It would have been like, "Hey, Mr. Edge, do you like the moon? It's your new home now.
Throw him to the moon. That's all it takes."
I mean, I just don't understand. Like, Clark really thought like Clark does, for the benefit of the doubt, try to. If this was Cal, the dark side of Clark, Morgan Edge would have been dead.
I don't think he would have killed him. I think he would have hurt him very bad.
I think he would have probably broke his hand and then probably
he would have injured him and probably put him in the coma.
Yeah, like Clark would have done, but him knowing his boundaries is like, he like threatens him and says, "If you don't leave, there will be consequences."
Mm-hmm.
And then when Morgan Edge comes back with reinforcements, we get the scene where Clark slices himself open with the kryptonite. That was gnarly. I did not see that one coming.
I know, like how sharp what that kryptonite rock was. Like he was able to have that enough pressure to cut himself.
Did that scene bother you, by the way? Like, because he's sitting there telling him, "You might be faster than a speeding bullet, but we're not. Like, but your parents are."
But he can't get both. But he can't get both of them at the same time because they're literally close to the head. The moment he starts running, they would pull the trigger at an instant.
But I did like how he cut them. He said, "What the?" Like he waited until
they're like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, what the hell is this?"
They waited until after he cut himself and blood and the other fell down
because he had no idea that the blood vial was originated from him. Because we found out later that that was the same blood that Lionel had in his vault the whole time, and they destroyed it.
I just thought that was clever though. That like Clark, he's like he exposes himself to Morgan Edge.
I mean, yeah, he exposes his weakness. Yeah, he showed him the weakness. He didn't expose him. Oh, yeah, he exposed himself.
Clark exposes himself to Morgan Edge. I wrote that in my notes. I'm like, he didn't expose himself. He exposed his weakness. And then I wrote he exposed himself. I'm like, Clark exposes himself to Morgan Edge.
Yeah, Clark had the urge to fucking expose himself to Morgan.
Hey, Morgan, what do you think about this?
Hey, Mr. Edge.
He's exposing himself. Guards! Oh my god!
Someone
that would have totally like
someone shoot it now.
Well, that would have totally like diffused the situation.
I'm not gonna lie, if he dropped his britches, no one would be expecting that.
He'll just go like this. just fucking flash himself.
Everybody would be shooting at him because they're like, "Oh my god, he's naked! Get back!" He'd be like, "Yeah, you know what? He's naked." That would have made this hilarious.
That would take them off guard and they're like, what the fuck? Just to fuck with them.
What did Morgan Edge see when Clark Kent exposed himself this week on Unsolved Mystery?
This week on Unsolved Mystery, how did he react when he exposed himself?
He would have probably made the same face too. Like, okay then.
Okay then.
It would have been like this. He'd have said, "What the hell is that between your legs?"
Like, what you were look what you're looking for.
And anyway, to move on gracefully from that, we get Lana kicking a little.
Yeah, Lana, that got me by surprise because Lana shows up as they're leaving, and then Lana's like, "Do you know where the cans are?" And then they pull a gun on her, and then there's a big tussle, and she kills a guy.
Yeah, she literally kills him. Drop kicked him near the fucking pitchfork.
She's like, "Thanks, Lex. You helped me kill the guy today." Yeah.
You helped me learn how to do a spin kick and also murder.
That's a.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Which, by the way, when Lex shows back up to the farm, not before he buys the farm, but when he shows back up as they're leaving, he looks like he has herpes on his face because
oh no, Michael Rosenbaum made a joke about it 3 times on the Talk Bill episode. Like, yeah, they have blisters on my mouth. It ain't herpes.
It's like it just looks like he has herpes the whole time.
It does. He does look like that. He cracked a joke about that one too.
Like,
I love his ability. I love his ability to like make fun of himself like that, like just take the piss out of.
Yeah, I had 3 months on the island, and I got blisters. They ain't herpes.
Yeah, which that would have been funny if Clark said, "Do you have herpes?" No, I don't have herpes, Clark. I've been on the island for 3 months.
But wasn't that crazy that Clark hardly, but before he reunites with Lex, he hardly ever mentions Lex. Like, wasn't he even devastated? That's your best friend that was presumed dead, and he hardly ever brings it up.
Well, red kryptonite is a hell of a drug.
Also, did that one scene though with Lex, like just Lex telling Helen about like the whole plot, like if my father wanted me dead, and then she said, I liked you. She said, I loved you. That's why I didn't put a bullet in your head. And then she pulls a gun on you, and then it shoots and kills the pilot. Out of all people,
and also, if you're ready to kill Lex, do it right now and don't just sit there.
Yeah, don't monologue like Syndrome did.
It's like every fucking bad guy doing a monologue before they pull the trigger. Just like if you watch Last Action Hero, you hear Danny just poking fun of it, that every bad guy just gives their monologue before they start to pull the trigger, and it's too late. If you would have just fired, you would have won.
Also, Lex tries to honeymoon. I put this in my dislikes. Lex tries to honeymoon again, and the same result happens. I'm like, Lex, you tried the same shit again. At least I would literally have my security team hiding in the bathroom or something. I mean, like, Lex is like, gotcha, but what if she would have drugged you again? I understand Lex is not going to drink.
No, but he didn't take the drink. He didn't take the drink. He wasn't going to fall for it.
But like, Lex should be like, okay, this could go, because she could have another pilot in there with a gun ready to kill me or something. I would say try, like, Lex, be more on your guard on this. But even though I like that he turned the tables on her, but I thought it was kind of stupid though that she shot the pilot. And then Lex is like, huh. I'm like,
somehow Lex knows how to fly the plane.
I know, yeah.
Did he take any flying lessons?
Lex should have recreated the scene from The Princess Bride with the iocane powder.
Also, I do like the scene with Lionel and Morgan Edge on the dock. And then, like, they're like, do you want to, and they find out, like, you know, oh, this DNA matches the one from the vial. And then he's like, you want to meet him? And then, like, Lionel's like, yes. And then all of a sudden, the Clark blows up the truck, and it goes all of them going flying backwards. And Lionel's like, you betrayed me. And then they get into a giant freaking shootout. And then, like, Lionel, like, his security team's like, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, that's awesome. And Lionel's guards are like,
you set me up. You set me up.
You like, I did it. I did. Like,
I don't know what the hell happened.
And it's just like,
and they go into a big shootout, and everything escalates, and we see Morgan Edge got shot and fell into the water.
Which, by the way, Lionel survives that explosion. By the way, he goes right to a truck that blows up.
They both did. Him and Morgan Edge were near the explosion, and somehow they survived.
I'm like, Lionel should be dead right now. So would Morgan Edge. Also, Morgan Edge has an option to get in his car, and instead he's doing this. I didn't betray you. Ah!
But also, it would have blow out their eardrums because it was so fucking loud. Remember the movie The Other Guys, Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg were going near the store, and the explosion just blew right in front of them. How do they walk an explosion? Yeah. There's no way. I call bullshit on that one.
Yeah, I've watched enough Mythbusters in my life to know that if you're even close to an explosion, you're not going to make it out unscathed.
How did Clark get in the water, too? Because Clark blew it up. He should be walking out of the thing naked, on fire, covered in fire.
Like that one episode late last season.
He should have been like that, because it's like he's in the water. He's like, woo! Like, I'm like, bullshit. We saw you last episode.
Dude, he would have been butt ass naked after getting in the middle of the explosion. Kind of like that what happened in the season 1 finale when fucking Nixon blew up the truck.
Yeah, it's like he walks out of that water. He pretty much says, "Oh, that was a really loud explosion. I'm glad we had
rough day at the office."
Look around and you see all these dead bodies, and he's like, "Did I do this?" Nope, there's bullets. Okay, we're good.
Did I do that?
He would have been like Ace Ventura, and then walks away.
I'm like Clark. I also like the conversation between Lionel and Lex. and he says, "You taught me one thing." I love that whole scene where they're in the Lex Luthor mansion, and he says, "The reason I survived is because you taught me one thing: how to be a survivor."
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Like
Makes
that was
sense.
just like it shows like you raised me to be the man you are, and he said that's how I am alive right now.
Yeah, no matter how tough you are on me, you taught me to survive.
Let's see how long this union lasts, because I think it won't
And
be
now
long.
he's willing to go work with Lionel in Metropolis.
But I loved this episode to pieces. This was a stellar two-parter. Jacob, what's your rating?
I want to say a 9 out of 10.
All right. Matt, what you got?
I like this little episode a little bit more, but I'm gonna give the same grade that I did the last episode. It's a 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 9.5. It's a little step down, but not by much. It's still, this two-parter was just stellar. Like, I loved it. I loved everything about it. But let's now talk about season 3, episode 3, which is a bit of a step down, but I still enjoyed it.
I really like this episode.
Yeah, it's season 3, episode 3, called Extinction. Oh wait, one more note before we do move on. The ending song where Clark and Lana quote unquote break up. That song is White Flag by Dido, which is legit one of my favorite songs. And then in the previous episode, there was Calling All Angels by Train, which is another one of my favorite episodes. So music-wise,
What about the Good Charlotte song in the beginning of the first episode? They play
Yeah.
the Good Charlotte song. And I heard that Michael Rosenbaum shit on it too. He fucking hates that Good Charlotte for some
He hates
reason.
early 2000s music.
Yeah, I know. I love him, but fuck him at the same time.
well,
I love him, but fuck him at the same time.
well, this show has my music taste on lock. But let's talk about season 3, episode 3, called Extinction.
This is basically the first episode because like the last 2 episodes were wrap-ups of the previous season. This is actually truly the official first episode of season 3 because it's focusing on the fresh start. You know how season 2, episode 1 was the wrap-up of season 1. This is like in episode 2 was the first official episode. So this is really the first official episode of season 3.
Yeah, it sure did feel that way.
Next week, all new Smallville, a twisted mind
Hello?
will target Clark Kent
Yes, kryptonite bullets.
and anyone
Clark Kent's been murdered.
who stands in the way.
He's not breathing.
All new Smallville, next week on the WB Wednesday.
When Lana is attacked by her obsessed school pal Jake Pollen, what a name, in the deserted swimming pool of Smallville High School, he is mortally shot by an unknown shooter. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor joins Luthor Corps, and his father Lionel requires a $50 million life insurance from him, which increases Lex's suspicions. No, nothing bad to see about that. Clark investigates the murder of Jake and finds that the criminal is Jake's friend Van McNulty, what a name, who is killing people affected by the meteor rock radiation, and that Lex is next on his hit list. When Clark saves Lex, Van sees that he is special and includes Clark in his bill, and learning of his vulnerability, the growing paranoia and racist Van concocts and shoots Clark with a kryptonite bullet, and then decides to go after Lana for her association with Clark. Also, Chloe discovers that Lionel has taken all her research documents of Clark and discovering that she has begun investigating Lex. So yeah, shout out to Jesse Metcalf, who plays Van McNulty.
A big racist piece of shit in this episode.
Pretty much, yeah. Like he's
the biggest Smallville hate crime for the meteor freaks.
He's just going around committing. He's a homage to Bloodsport from the comics. If you've seen The Suicide Squad, Idris Elba plays Bloodsport. This is basically that character, but because of he's basically proto Bloodsport because obviously like these characters have not like met Superman, so there's a reason why he's not Bloodsport, but he's like a homage to Bloodsport, because he literally is though a good character, but like he hates me, like he's like William Stryker from X-Men 2. He just hates with the passion meteorite freaks. He's like, you're freaks, and he goes, I'm gonna get a gun and kill you all. Like, I mean, he's literally one bad day.
Well, yeah, because if you known about his backstory, about his father, who was a Marine recruiter that we last saw in season 2 for Whitney, Tina Guerrero was the one that killed his father. It turns out that was his father the whole time, and that's why he has a big vendetta against the meteor freaks.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up because let's talk about that scene. I went back and rewatched that scene just to see if that was not the same actor that they showed the picture
Are
of.
you sure that wasn't the same actor?
I went back and watched the scene because I'm like, wait, is that? Because I believe it was a bald
Did you
guy.
IMDb it and made sure that that's not the there were
Not
different
IMDb,
actors?
but I watched that scene. I'm like, that is not the same guy. And there's no
Yeah,
way.
you're probably right. I'll probably look that up later and just to be sure.
Look it up. Yeah, fact check me. Make me look like an
Yeah,
asshole.
I will fucking fact check it. I'm gonna school you.
Brian's doing it right now. He's like, I hope he's
He's like, fuck this, I'll check it myself.
But yeah, I did think Van was a good character because he's like a big. He is like the most. He hates mutants. I mean, not mutants. But I was gonna say mutants.
But they're meteor freaks.
He hates meteor freaks so bad to where he has freaks written on there, and he has all their pictures, and he basically like he's one bad day away from burning a cross in their yards.
But also, yeah, he has the target of the hit list that he hacked in Chloe's emails.
Chloe that she kept literally made an email. He literally has and says, "I'm going to use this as my hit list." I'm like, what? I mean, I said
somehow he was able to crack the password that she decrypted.
Like he literally like confronts like Lana and says, "If there's one thing I hate more than freaks, is a freak lover." And I'm like, yeah, that's some racist stuff right there.
I mean,
he's
he
a total bigoted
asshole.
That's such a discrimination.
He is a white supremacist, basically. Like he's like, for what's it called? Like, is it meteor a racist meteor? I mean,
no, it's more of a bigot. He's more of a bigot.
Well, he's a bigot, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bigot.
He really is
because he hates the type of people like that. No matter what, doesn't matter how good or bad you are. That's hence bigot.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if like I was waiting for them like to show when he's working out shirtless. There's a swastika on his back, and everything. But it's like he's not really like he's not a racist, but he's more of a bigot that hates it's
a hate crime. It's more like a hate crime. He's
committing hate crimes towards a certain species. It'd be like if him trying to be towards aliens from outer space. Right. He's more of he's prejudiced towards that group, and so he hates them so much to where he's like, I'm gonna kill them all. And I'm just
because he had experience with one of the meteor infected that killed his own father, and it really set him off the rails.
And he has like a kill list. He's already killed 2, or he killed 1 or 2 on the list when Clark found the list.
I think he only killed a few people because if I remember correctly, Chloe mentioned that there was a man who can definitely stretch elasticity ability, but he didn't go crazy, didn't go all psycho, and he was murdered. So that probably was part of one of his hit lists.
And I wish he would have said like a line that says when Clark said, "Why are you killing?" He goes, "I'm killing for sport." As like a nod to blood sport.
Oh, that would have been crazy.
But I did like the scene where like Lex is on the hit list and Clark is rushing because he says, "Oh my god!" And so Clark rushes because he's got a sniper scope ready, and he's just like ready. He's waiting for Lex, and he's just like right there. And then all of a sudden, when Clark catches that bullet, you're like, no, he's gonna get him. And all of a sudden, Clark catches the bullet, goes, get out, and he takes another shot. And then Clark, all the security just hears the gunshots. They run out. I thought that was so cool. The one that I thought was stupid is when he runs away.
But it was stupid that the security guards were not able to catch up with that guy.
He's literally a human being. Clark, would make sense, but there's no way he would.
They were literally not far from him, and somehow he was able to get away that quickly, just stealthy. Like, what the hell? But did you notice in the shot where Clark was running on the highway in super speed, they literally reused the same shot from season 2 with fucking the episode of Ryan. Because if you watch this through a television run and you don't watch it on repeat, you literally just notice that they reuse the same sequence.
Yeah, it's kind of odd how like Lex can be like, "Hey, Clark, where did you just come from?" All of us.
Where the hell did you come from?
Well, I actually could explain that though, because he probably because I thought you were saying how Clark stopped the bullet he thought Clark saw like a red dot on Lex and he grabbed Lex real quick. That would make sense. But I remember I'm like when all the guards had Lex in a huddle, and I'm like, he can still take a shot.
But also he's in high school, and you came all the way to the Metropolis to see me. You have any explanation for that?
Which that to me I thought was crazy. Lionel Luthor was angry too. I'm surprised Lionel Luthor didn't put a contract on this dude's head. You find the racist.
Or what about Chloe? Because she had all the information, including
Lionel chewed her ass out. He said, "If you ever investigate my son again," he was pissed.
If I ever catch you investigating a member of my family again, A computer glitch will be the least of your problems.
But also,
Yeah,
he
my son-
really is a meteor freak because if you really think about it, he did get hit in the blast waves during the meteor shower. And his white blood cells are off the charts according to Chloe.
Well, I always thought Lex Luthor was a metahuman in the comics, but he was just like, but instead of him being like given new powers, he's just like really clever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and
I think it just made him more clever.
And I think that because he's able to like survive mortal injuries when Clark was not around. I mean, yeah, occasionally Clark always saves him all the time without even knowing it. And and I don't know if I remember correctly, but I did my research on some of the iterations of the comic book with Lex Luthor that he got exposed to kryptonite and it made him bald because it was so radioactive. I don't know if that happened. I could be wrong. I mean, you can probably correct me on that one.
Lex Luthor, like Lex Luthor, and a lot of times, yeah, he grew. Has been in the comics and stuff. You are right about that. I will say Lex Luthor, though, I do think that I do like that whole scene. Like Lex is like, maybe I am,
maybe I am a freak.
You know, he starts investigating him the wreck again now. That's not like, oh god.
And he asks his father, like, have I ever been sick? Like after the meteor shower, have I been sick a day in my life?
And he said, outside of asthma, no. So I feel like there's a kernel of truth to this. I mean, it would make sense to me anyway.
Mm-hmm. That pissed Lionel off to that. Like, right, Lionel went to Chloe and he basically threatened her. Like, he made her.
He did. It
wasn't even a threat. It was like promise. He said, like, you know.
No, it was not a threat. It was a promise. You ever do that again? No,
it's not. Whoever does get my family again, he goes, I will make your. He says, he will take her out of the equation because like Lionel is not somebody to mess with. Especially you mess with his son, you're messing with him. You know, because the only person that's allowed to mess with Lex is Lionel.
Yeah.
Which also I do like the scene when Van builds the kryptonite bullets. Like you show him making the bullet for Clark, and then Clark's on the farm, and then you see Van, and all of a sudden he shoots, and Clark sees the bullet catch, and it goes right through and hits Clark, and he goes down. I'm like, oh my god! And Clark's like, ah! And
that was insane. That was insane sequence.
That whole scene, and when Jonathan digs the bullet out with the wire cutters, I was just how was this allowed in 2000?
And they had to use a knife to sterilize the blade to have him dig it through the bullet.
Yeah,
because I kind of do tough, so they had to improvise.
I kind of wish though that Van would have took another shot. Like if I just kind of wish I was thinking, oh, what would have been cool if Van was trying, like when Jonathan, you see Jonathan, all of a sudden some more gunshots rang out, and Jonathan jumps to the ground and tries to go to get Clark, and he just jumps over Clark to protect him as like Van is shooting up the farm. And then Van like thinks he got him, so then Van leaves. I thought that would have been cool because I'm like, Van, you don't know if you got Clark or not. You should take another shot just to make sure that you got him. You know, because you see him go down, but like you don't.
But then he has to. But then he has to like clock it every time because he has a sniper rifle, and that would have taken a lot of time, and he fell right into the ground.
I think Van has like a thing where he doesn't go after like humans. But at the same time, like he will go after people. I think he would have went after the Kents because like, oh, you're conforming with him. So like he says, I think he would take out the Kents if he like if he had more bullets.
I don't think he would take out the parents because then it would just be a little bit of hypocritical because then you're no different because you're one of the because Tina Greer, who was a meteor freak, killed your own parent, your own dad. So that would have been a little go against his beliefs.
Yeah. But I do think that I did like the scene. I thought it was really messed up that. And he tells Lana, I liked his character up until he went to Lana and goes, I need you to get me out of town. I'm like, well, he's supposed to be his badass character.
Like, what do you expect her to do? Is to smuggle you out of town? Like, how the fuck do you think she's going to pull that off?
You're the biggest racist.
You're the biggest bigoted asshole.
Like, I need you to get me out of town. I just killed another meteor freak.
Why would anybody help you? Like you are literally like
you're the biggest piece of shit in Smallville right now.
Yeah, people have been like, I think I'm busy. So yeah,
like he's just literally, and I can't. I was gonna make a comment on a scene from a later episode. I'm not gonna mention it. About Van, but I was just like about someone makes a joke with it. I'm not gonna say, but there's a joke. There's a comment about who because he's a racist, and so someone calls him. I'm not gonna say what happened in the context scene, but someone says, "Well, Ku Klux Van."
Oh
Wow, that
Last man.
wow.
I'm just like, I thought that scene was fun. I'm like, ha, he burned that dude. He's like, I was just like, I'm like, because I mean, everybody knows you are the biggest bigot, and like, because everybody else in Smallville is usually a good person that turned into a villain by the meteorites.
yeah.
Okay. Van is literally what I don't even like was just a human, like, that was upset that his dad died and said, I'm gonna go on a killing spree, except I'm gonna kill meteor people only by this list. Oh, all these people are meteor freaks. Okay, well, I'm gonna go get a gun and go and
Well,
kill
yeah, he
them all.
wanted to take them out of the equation. They think that they automatically go psychos. And it doesn't end well when they get the meteor infected, especially with Tina Greer, who's one of them that murdered his father, and it fucking went on a crazy train.
I mean, this is like there is an episode in season, is it season 4 or 5? I think it's season 5. There's an episode of season 5 that there's a character just like Van that it does something heinous, something like where it's double. It is so messed up to where I'm like, what I'm talking about?
Which episode was it? I can't remember.
I can't say it because it's like,
yeah, I know.
Just know it involves a bomb.
Maybe. I think I'm starting to remember.
And
was it 4 or 5?
It's 5. A bunker. Remember the bunker?
Oh yeah. No, I remember now. Yep.
I'm just saying that is the most.
The character was very similar to what's the character's name in the main villain? Vince, is that his name?
Van.
No, Van. Yeah, Van in this episode. Yeah, now he's definitely like Van. He's definitely like Van. They definitely brought another character who was similar.
Think, Ryan, you think Van is bad? This character is even worse because
he's genocidal.
This character wants to commit mass genocide.
Oh, well, that's going to be...
which I cannot wait to get into that when we get into
that. Is like, and what he does is even more effed up than what Van did.
It's much worse than what Van had done.
Because he does, it's like, you're like, oh my God, this was allowed on cable television?
Yeah, and it was dark. This
is something you would see on 60 Minutes.
This is something you would have seen on the episode of 24 on Fox.
Yeah.
Which literally 24 and Smallville debuted the same year, just an FYI.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Because I'm just saying, Van at least, which I think they were trying to do like a blood sport, like from the comics in a way, because they were trying to make.
I don't know if they. I think they were trying to bring something similar to Bloodsport because I don't think they really had the rights to bring him into the show, and I think it would have been way too early to bring Bloodsport in, especially Clark at an young age.
Just so if you want to know what happens to Van goes to Belle Reve and then joins Task Force X and becomes Idris Elba, and then has to fight.
There you go. He joins the Task Force X. There you go.
And so, like, he has to say, and he's with the polka dot man.
Don't you think that was funny in the scene where Clark confronts him again and gets shot, and Lana thought that he was actually bulletproof, but then
why wouldn't you go for the head though? I was like, you shoot him in the chest, go for the head.
I know it's very typical.
My question was, where did he find all that lead?
Yeah, where did he find? I think he stole the fucking vest from the cop car or something.
All right, well, fair enough.
The sheriff's car, because the sheriff showed up at his house, at his doorstep.
Also, what am I disliking? I'm trying to see what.
But I'm good. But it's a good thing that he wore the vest, because then he would have been screwed, because they only had kryptonite bullets in them.
Also, I thought Chloe, nobody finds out about Chloe's list afterwards. If I was someone in school and I found Chloe has me on a watch list of meteor freaks, I'm like, fuck you, Chloe.
And I'm on a list. Why?
I'm on a list. Why? Like, you have me on a list. Like, you think like I'm some kind of sex offender or something. Like, fuck you, okay? Like, I want to put you on a list too about all the biggest bitches in the school. Like, you're going on that list, Chloe. That's so you want on my list. I just imagine like that. Like, imagine if you knew someone in your high school had you on a list of potential meteor freaks, and then on top of that, someone was pulling up basically a Terminator 1. Because if you watch Terminator 1, how the Terminator is killing everybody in the phone book named Sarah Connor.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's basically killing everybody on that list that Chloe has. And so basically it's like, fuck you, Chloe. Like, you put my life in danger. Just like Lionel, told Chloe, you put my son's life in danger by putting him on that list. I'm surprised Clark did not make it on the list. I am so surprised.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, definitely, I think a step down from the previous two, but still enjoyable. And so, Jacob, what did you think? 1 to 10.
I actually think this is an 8 out of 10.
All right, Matt, what you got?
I'm gonna give it. Hold on. I'm gonna give it like an 8 out of 10. Pretty decent episode, not the best.
I'm gonna go 8.5. Like I said, step down, but still really enjoyable. I liked Van. I liked how evil he was, even though it was uncomfortable at points. And just season 3.
So, I mean, it's really hard to root for a white supremacist. Basically, it's like he's a cool character, but it's really messed up what he's doing.
He's
It's hard to root. It's
but
hard
at
to
the
root
same
for a
time, I
bigot.
hate him.
It's like I don't agree with the shit he's doing, but I do think he is a clever character. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. But
He was just so angry and misguided. And did you notice that Lana did another spin kick again twice in a row?
Yes.
To the guy. Went on Crouching Tiger on him.
Pretty much, yeah. But I don't think season 3 could have gotten off to a better start. We got 3 banger episodes in a row. They're like very eventful. They were very well made. I have no issues, like no grand scheme issues anyway.
That's what we've been telling you. Like every season keeps continuing to improve for the quality.
I had no doubt, but I'm
Also,
glad.
Did you know that Van's shirt? I forgot to put this in my notes. Did you notice that Van's shirt is red and gray, and it basically foreshadows of like the bullet that's going to kill his friend in the swimming pool, because his shirt is red as the color of the blood and gray as the color of the bullet that shoots his friend. So basically, almost like he's foreshadowing he's going to kill his friend later.
I didn't think about it.
I'm like, if that's the case, I'm like, he's a sick motherfucker. He's like hinting like, hey.
I did like the scene at the end of the episode when Lana tells Clark that you need to start opening up, because if you don't open up, you're going to be all alone. Like, how are you going to bring people into life if you're not going to be willing to open up to a different side that we haven't seen?
Yeah.
Because she's going to find out eventually. I mean, how many times that Clark had saved Lana in a lot of these episodes? You think she's not going to figure it out already? You might as well just tell her, for crying out loud.
At this point, yes. Like, just straight up said, I'm an alien. Like she would accept it.
I mean, you were willing to. I mean, even though you didn't have a choice, but you still was able to come out to Pete and tell the truth about yourself.
And Pete's cool with you.
Also, didn't y'all expect a scene at the end where Van's sitting in prison and handcuffs and Lionel shows up and Lionel's like, and he just wants to have a conversation about like what all the people and then he mentions Clark or something and then Lionel is intrigued.
And I'm surprised he didn't confront him in Belle Reve.
Because you would think Lionel would confront him. Maybe there is a deleted scene
like
does, but they said we don't need it.
I don't even think they filmed that scene.
Because I just think there should be, because Lionel, like this dude, like you literally went after his family. Lionel's not just gonna let that go. You know, because Lionel would probably have some kind of dirt on him. You know, like Lionel, which I just thought that there should have been a scene like that where he's just in handcuffs and like Lionel just shows up and he basically makes him like, oh, I'm gonna treat you okay.
He's gonna make him an offer. He will make him an offer that he can't refuse.
Pretty much. Yeah, but like I said, no real problems with all 3 of these episodes. What did you all think of them? Let us know in the comments. It's so good to be back with you guys. I mean that wholeheartedly. I missed this. So, Jacob, privileged to do it. Please be kind. Where can we find you?
You can find me at, what's that place called with the Y and the tube? The U, a tube.
You can find him on blip.tv.
You can find him on the OnlyFans site.
You can find me on, he says, youporn.com.
Dagnabbit.
It's like, you can find me on tube8.com.
1, 2, 3 movies.
1, 2, 3. You can find me at what's that website called? What's the website called? Fancam or whatever. You can find me on that.
Something like that, but the link will be in the description.
Not that, no, the YouTube link. In case
now you want to say where you really are.
Yeah, they go click. He's not on Fancam, Ryan. You lying piece of shit. You're no better than Van.
He's like, fuck.
But yeah, you can find me. I got a review tomorrow. I got a review by the time this airs. Saw X. I just seen it. It's fantastic. You can watch the review for it. And I just dropped a video game review for Gotham Knights, and that's what I got. And I got coming up, me and Jacob Martin are going to collab on Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, and we're going to do Black Christmas 2006. So watch along. So that's what we got coming up, and yeah, so you get to see me suffer through Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, and watch Black Christmas. So. And I got Christmas movies coming up too.
Well, that link will be in the description. Matt, your link tree, as always, will be in the description. You've just seen Godzilla -1 as of this recording, so that review is going to be up very soon. What else you got?
Well, I'm planning on seeing 2 of the old films that came out in I am planning on seeing this James Cameron's The Abyss in Dolby Cinema. That's coming out on the 6th. Then a couple of days later, I'm going to be seeing the original Die Hard movie in Dolby as well, which I'm excited to revisit those movies for the first time in the theater. Oh my God, it's crazy. But I put up a lot of a lot of reviews for the Disney's Wish, I've Hunger Games, all their other stuff that is up on my channel right now. There is 2 videos that it just went up to over 1K, which is Disney's Wish and Next Goal Wins, that Taika Waititi movie, which it's crazy. I just made up to 83 subscribers so far. I'm continuing to grow. And yeah, go support my channel. I really appreciate it. And it's really good.
Yeah,
and I am planning on doing a lot of reviews for the holiday movies.
Yeah, Matt's making his way in the world. You love to see it. But all the requisite links in the description. Go give these guys a subscribe. As for this channel goes, Christmania is in full swing. By the time this video drops, that series will be off the ground. By the time this airs, Christmania 2023 will officially have started. Reviews will be up for movies like I'll Be Seeing You, The Bishop's Wife, 3 Godfathers,
It's a Wonderful Knife,
and The Lemon Drop Kid. Those reviews will be all live by the time this airs. The daily uploads up to the 25th, so stay on the lookout for all of that. But for Jacob Collins, for Matt Wyatt, my name is Ryan Cam. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe. If you're listening on audio, follow us on Spotify. We'll see you all in the next one for Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Y'all take care.